Hello, hello. This is another match of Titanfall, and I think I'll actually try and do a full commentary on this one here. This is another match when I was playing during Xcal's stream, the almighty Xcal. But spoiler alert, I actually managed to get first place this round through some combination of luck and divine intervention, I think. You can see my terrible parkour skills there. But really, all you need to do to get MVP, I think, is play the objective, which I rarely do in Hardpoint, I guess. And don't die, which, despite one or two deaths, I think I actually managed to do. But yeah, I see a lot of people talking about balance changes and all that with Titanfall, or what should be changed, what is underpowered, overpowered. And that kind of contributes to one of the things that I have a problem with, but as far as strategies go, at least involving Titans, I think they're rather misunderstood. You know, people seem to think that one of them is the best one of them is overpowered, one of them is underpowered, and so on. You know, and I think that actually is not the case. That might be the case with some certain weapons, where it's going to be only really usable in certain circumstances. But everything in the game, I think, is actually usable, not necessarily underpowered or overpowered. Even though you might find yourself using the car SMG a little bit more more usable in most circumstances than the R97 SMG. You know, it doesn't mean that the R97 doesn't have its place. And, you know, that's the same with kind of anything in the game. Titans being no small exception right there. So, the Titans, we have the Atlas, which is, of course, the middle one, as I like to say. That has the medium amount of health. All Titans have the same amount of shields, but the Atlas has the median amount of health. And it has the medium amount of dashes. It has 2 dashes, and it's kind of the average speed between the Ogre and the Strider Titans. The Strider Titan is, of course, the fastest. It has the lowest amount of health. Same shields, once again, but lowest amount of health, but it moves quite a bit faster, and it has 3 dashes instead of 2. The Ogre is, of course, the next one then, with the most health and only 1 dash. The other thing then, the only other thing really between the chassis is what their ability is. Once you've played them enough, once you've gotten some kills with them, that kind of thing, they will actually obtain a super ability. The Atlas has Damage Core, which increases the amount of damage it does. The Strider gets the Dash Core, which allows it to dash infinitely for a short time. And of course, the Ogre gets its amazing shield booster, which just makes it ungodly invulnerable, I guess, for a little while. It's not quite that. If they are laying down enough damage on it, it will die, but it does make it very strong for a short period of time. So, first off, the Atlas Titan. I see a lot of people looking at this, like I said, as the middle Titan. And because of that, a lot of people actually don't like using it. Because, you know, they want to say, oh, I will be good at this, or I will be good at this. I don't want to be in the middle and be good at neither, really. But the way I see it, it actually is able to outclass either of the Titans in one of 2 ways. You know, you're going to outclass the Strider with health, which usually when you're going up against the Strider and you can keep up with its movement, the tiniest difference in health will make a difference. You know, even when going up with a Strider against another Strider. You look at the Ogre, and those things just cannot move. So if you can spin circles around an Ogre, if you can actually spin circles around an Ogre, you will decimate it, and you will take no damage from it, more or less. You know, it's going to be able to do either one of those things against either of those Titans, which is really why I think it's best against either Titans. But in case you weren't convinced, the Atlas also has the Damage Core ability. Remember, now the Damage Core, it's not going to really help against pilots or specters, runs. It's not going to help capture objectives, that sort of thing. So really, what are you left with? It's left with Titans, killing Titans, because it's going to do more damage to Titans. And you're going to be left with, like, turrets and dropships. So, I tend to think of the Atlas as the anti-Titan Titan, for lack of better words. It will be very good against either of those. So I think people should use it a little bit more, but it really does need to be used, I think, in sort of that role, or something like that, to really use its maximum effectiveness, which I don't see a lot of people doing. Now, there are other Titans, like I said, and I think the next one I'll talk about is the Ogre. Now, the Ogre, during the first few days of play, I want to say, was kind of viewed as the best, just because it's like, oh, Titans, they all move kind of similarly fast or whatever. Let's just use the one with the most health that can eat the most bullets. Plus, it is the last one that you unlock, so logically, by some people's points of view, it should be the best one. Now, this isn't obviously the case, at least in my opinion, like I'm saying. But the Ogre does go a very defensive role, I want to say. You can put it out, you can just let it auto-tighten. It won't be the fastest, but you can actually support it as like a pilot, something like that. And it's very good for that reason to be in those objective modes, or like as a frontline kind of soldier, what have you. Now, the Strider, it's getting towards the end of the match, so I won't be able to talk too much about it, but the Strider is my personal favorite, obviously, just because I like moving fast, but it's not going to be really either of those things. It's going to be the middle of those two. It's not going to be super good against Titans, not going to be super good against pilots, not going to be best for playing objectively, that sort of thing. But the Strider isn't very clearly one of those things. That's why I think that the Strider is actually the middle, as opposed to something like the Atlas. The Strider, you can go and you can play a little bit objectively. You can go around a map very fast, and you can maybe pepper the objective points in Hardpoint with missiles and all that, high explosives, which is what I like doing. You can go and you can do fairly well against Titans just by being so fast. It's kind of the middle ground, like I said. I like it personally because you move really fast and it's very aggressive. But I want to emphasize this, it is not the best type. And you can use it very effectively, I think. I mean, I love it, but it's one of those things where you can actually use the other Titans effectively. And there is no one real best type. They're all going to be a little bit different. But, yeah, I hope you learned something. Leave a like if you liked the video, and I'll see you guys next time.